Nina woke up early and peered out the window to find it still dark outside. It was the dead of winter, and the snowfall from the night before had yet to cease. "Oh, not this snow again," she murmured, feeling tired of the constant barrage. She had her morning tea, got dressed, and stepped out to clear the snow from the fence. She lived alone in her home, to which her mother brought her 69 years ago from the maternity home. While the house had undergone some renovations in recent years, such as installing siding, heating, and plumbing, she was still taken aback by how beautiful the shower stall looked. As she cleared the snow, Sanya, Nadia's husband from the neighboring house, waved to her from his porch. They had fenced gardens and would often walk through each other's vegetable gardens to visit. Sanya, who rarely ventured outside during winters due to his sore feet, looked unwell. He shared the news that Nadia had been rushed to the city due to suspected stroke. Nina was stunned and dropped her shovel, forgetting about the snow. She knew her brother would come later to clear the snow. She rushed inside and called the district hospital, only to find out that her best friend was in intensive care and her condition was serious. Nina and Nadia had been childhood friends since they were the youngest in their respective families. Growing up together, they attended the same kindergarten and school, and their parents and siblings were all friends. With 3 children in each family, they always had someone to play with. In school, Nina was the high achiever while Nadia struggled more academically. Despite this, they remained close friends. Nina was an active Komsomol leader, while Nadia was content being a regular student. During their 10th grade year, an unexpected incident occurred when a large portrait of Pushkin fell on Nadia's head while she was solving a problem at the blackboard. The heavy glass frame caused Nadia to suffer from shoulder and back injuries, and she was hospitalized for a long time. Fortunately, her grades were given to her without an examination. After completing school, they both stayed in their village since their parents were elderly and their older siblings lived in the city. Nina's brother worked for a shipping company and was away from home for 6 months at a time. The girls decided to work at a local factory, and although Nina enrolled in a part-time institute, Nadia did not wish to pursue further education. One summer, a group of students arrived in the village, and Nadia met a young man. They fell in love, but their romance was short-lived as Nadia discovered she was pregnant in the fall. The student did not respond to her letters, and she had to confess to her mother. In order to avoid gossip and judgment, Nadia's mother sent her to distant relatives in the Krasnodar region, where she gave birth to a son and eventually got married. Nadia spent 25 years away from home, building a life with her husband and working on their farm. Despite being far away, she maintained a close friendship with Nina, and they kept in touch through correspondence. Nina, on the other hand, worked in a male-dominated machine shop and never got married, although she did experience love in her life. Despite the distance and the different paths their lives took, their friendship remained strong. Nina even visited Nadia a couple of times. And although Nina may have struggled to find a romantic partner, she remained independent and strong in her own right. Towards the end of the 1990s, Nadia was widowed and left her house and farm to her son, returning to her hometown in Siberia. Sadly, her father had passed away, and her mother was very old, and soon she too had left this world. Nina was also without parents, as they had both passed away 6 months apart. This was when the friends decided to create a fenced path connecting their vegetable gardens, and they were never separated again for long. A year and a half later, Nadia started a relationship with a lonely man named Alexander. Nina questioned why she needed a man in her old age, but Nadia explained that it was nice to have someone around to help her in her house. Sanya helped Nadia a lot, even though his legs hurt in his last years. He upholstered the house and drove her around in their car, which they had bought together. Although they had some quarrels, they quickly made up, and Nadia blamed Nina for everything, that she could at least give birth to a baby for herself and not live in vain. Nina was offended. She did not feel lonely, there is always someone in the house. In the summer, everyone works together in the garden. When Nadia retired, she discovered new abilities, such as healing hernias in babies, giving massages, and relieving headaches. It was as if her first husband's mother had taught her these skills. Nina would often tease her, saying, "Wow, a former Soviet Komsomol girl turned into a healer. Why didn't your talents help me when you tried to relieve my headache? Because you don't believe in me." Jesus wasn't recognized in his native Nazareth either. He was a carpenter's son to his fellow countrymen. That's all. "You need faith," answered an aggrieved Nadia. When Nadia was transferred from the intensive care unit to the general ward at the hospital, Nina came to visit her. However, Nadia was so weak and had lost so much weight that she did not recognize her friend. After 2 weeks, the doctors let her go home without any guarantees. There was no positive change, and it was unlikely to happen. There was no point in keeping her in the hospital any longer. They sent her home to die, Nina realized, but decided for herself that she would not give up her friend so easily. In the evening, Nina with her niece bathed Hope, gave her a rich chicken broth, and she fell asleep soundly. "I'll take her with me, if anything," Nina decided. In the morning, she went to Nadia's house. She made her some kissel and fresh broth. Nadia looked at her meaningfully. She recognized her. A day or two later, Nadia said her first word, and that word was Ninka. I will not describe in detail the stages of Nadia's recovery. I will only say that Nina did not have to take her friend to her. Sanya did not allow it, and she herself did not want to leave her home. 6 months later, Nadia has almost fully recovered. She walks, talks, thinks, and cooks food. A female social worker comes to them, but her friend Nena and her relatives help a lot and constantly. They say there is no such thing as a woman's friendship. There is, and such a friendship which will save you from illness and support you in joy. Subscribe to our channel not to miss new interesting life stories. Give us your likes, write your opinion in the comments.